Wonder Woman number 17, written by Brian Azzarello, art by Tony Atkins with Amilcar Pina. Last issue, Wonder Woman found out that Demeter had the baby, and Hera and Zola went to a bar. And Strife was there, and War was there, and it's a whole thing. So, anyway, Orion, Lennox, and Wonder Woman arrive back at the apartment. Orion and Lennox are just clashing with each other the whole time. And as they get inside, they realize nobody's there. And they're like, crap, this city is so big. How are we supposed to trap them down? Like, what is going on here? And Wonder Woman starts blaming Lennox because Lennox insisted on going along with Wonder Woman instead of staying here and watching them. And they start arguing with each other. And then all of a sudden, Orion's like, hey, guys, was one of them a blonde? As he holds up a single hair. Then we cut back to the bar. Strife is leading Zola back out to the bar along with... She just calls him Dio. I know it's short for something, but I cannot remember it at all. And so the entire family gets back together at the bar. And Strife's like, oh, hey, War, how's it going? Oh, hey, Aunt Hera, how's it? Or, no, sorry, Mother. She is just a child of Hera. And at that point, Strife leads into War and says, like, I know your game. I know what's up. And War's like, you don't know anything, child. So... At this point, Zola sees a knife on the bar table and she picks it up and pockets it real quick, just making sure she has something to protect herself. When all of a sudden, boom tube goes off, Orion, Lennox, and Wonder Woman arrive in. Turns out Orion can track anybody in the universe just by taking a piece of hair, feeding it into his machine. That's really all it takes. So... Everybody gets in. Strife seems to be really into Orion. And then Wonder Woman locks eyes with War. And she's like, oh, I recognize you no matter how you look. And she's like, oh, hey, you look different too, little one. And at that point, Zola takes the opportunity and tries to stab War. But then War drops his drink, grabs Zola's hand, and holds the knife to her own throat. And she's like, I'm not here to kill you, but I swear to God I will if you make me. And Wonder Woman steps in being like, don't do it. Please, let's just calm down. And he's like, I was calm. I was just having a drink. She's the one who attacked me. But here. And he gives the knife to her. And everyone just takes a breath. Then we cut to some island called Anak Krakatau. And the firstborn is there in a helicopter along with the scientist that was leading him to his, I believe, his armor beforehand. And now they're leading him to a secondary thing, which he says, like, look, my thing is going to be stored in the water because my last thing was being blocked by Hades. This thing should be blocked by Poseidon, so we shouldn't be going to an island. And he's like, yeah, well, you've been out of the world for a while. This island sprung up since you've been gone, so it's on the island. But as they're heading there, he's basically asking, why are you serving me? Like, what's up? And he's just like, are you a god? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm going to serve God then. Why not? So at that point, a giant shark pops out of the water. It's Poseidon, and it looks like it's about to swallow the helicopter whole. But first, we go back to the bar again. And Wonder Woman lays out, like, look, I know it's Demeter, and we need to go and get the baby. And Hera's like, I ain't taking you. And Wonder Woman's like, are you serious after everything? And Strife makes it known that she's not able to anymore. The only one who's able to move through dimensions without being invited are Olympians themselves, which means that Ares is actually the only one there with the ability to do it. And everyone immediately speaks up like, don't trust him. It is so not worth trusting War. Except for Orion, who says, go ahead and go for it, and then smacks Wonder Woman on the ass, which she does not take kindly to. But then Zola jumps in and just being like, hey, this is my baby. You act like I'm not even here. And Diana's like, I'm sorry, look, will you let me do this for you? And Ares is like, I could always go get the baby myself if you'd rather. And Zola's like, no. Wonder Woman's going with you. So they make their way to, as far as I can tell, it's a hotel. And up on top of the hotel is a greenhouse, and that's going to be the way that they transition over into Demeter's realm. But as they're talking, it's basically Ares saying, like, look, I've seen a lot. I have aged more in, like, the past few years than I have in my entire lifetime. Like, it's taking a lot of toll on me, but hey, whatever. So he pulls up a potted plant, and down inside is a portal to Demeter's realm. But first we go back to the firstborn. The shark ate the helicopter. The scientist has fallen into the water, and the firstborn takes two of the helicopter blades off of the crash, uses them as giant swords, and cuts off the shark's head. And he's like, "That's all you got for me, Poseidon? A giant fish? That's all you got, Uncle?" And then Poseidon comes up out of the water, and he's like, "Oh no, I can do so much worse, you little bastard." So then we get Wonder Woman and Ares going down into Demeter's realm, and it's genuinely an awesome looking place. But Ares makes the point of like, "What are you going to do with the baby when you get it back?" She says, "I'm going to give it back to Zola." And he's like, "And then what? The gods are going to keep on coming for it. Are you going to protect it for the rest of your life?" And she's like, "I'll figure something out." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sure you will." But as they're talking, Hermes shows up and slashes Ares multiple times, and he seems very much worse for wear. But in the end, he has a sword drawn to Wonder Woman's head, and he's like, "The gods, we have a way of things, and we will always do what needs to be done." So that's where the issue leaves off. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I think it's a solid enough chapter. Not a whole hell of a lot happens in terms of like action, unless you don't count the firstborn stuff, which was very action packed, but it is just a solid next chapter all throughout of just getting the pieces where they need to be, which I think I said probably about like the last two chapters as well. But this entire story has basically been the go to A to find B, go to B to find C. But it works because it's keeping things entertaining the whole way through. It's never just a, "Hey, I got the object, now what?" sort of thing. So yeah, overall, I'm going to give this one a 7.5. I think it's good. Not stand out great, but still very good.